iHeart, get ready. Fantasy football is here. Welcome to the Scout Fantasy Show. ScoutFantasy.com is home to the Fantasy Football World Championships and the best players in the world. Real money winners giving their secrets to help you win. Now exclusively on iHeart. This is the Scout Fantasy Show with your host, the one, the only, Dr. Roto.
Everybody, it's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards. Get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. All right, I'm going to do a little fantasy baseball today. And I want to talk a little bit about my home league. And I'm going to tell you that my home league used to have 16 teams. Now there's 15. It's a very competitive league. A lot of very, very smart people. I would say at least 10 could be in any expert league I could find. So it's a pretty good group of characters there. And there's one player who is shopping Buster Posey. Now, this guy is probably one of the best 2 or 3 owners in the league, but he's just not having a good year. And that happens, right? That happens. Sometimes the best owners, you know, they suffer. There's DLs. If I go down his DL list, it's pretty messy. And sometimes the guys that you draft don't hit, and things go wrong, right? We all have the down year. But right now, he puts a post on the board for Buster Posey. And he says the following: Posey may be the piece that decides this year's league. We'll move him for the right player or players. Now, it's a very interesting point because we would argue that Buster Posey could make a huge difference in our league. As of this second, Buster Posey is hitting .338, a very high number for a catcher. Very high number. But he's only got 30 runs scored. He's got 25 RBIs, 9 home runs, and 1 stolen base. So I ask you this question. He has 222 at-bats. How are the Giants doing this year? Right? Are the Giants going deep in the playoffs? Well, we know the answer to this question. What is the answer to this question? Most likely not. Right? Most likely not, because the Giants are 20 games out of first place. Why do I bring this up? I bring this up to you because maybe Buster Posey doesn't play every single game, especially when we get into the month of September. Maybe Buster Posey at the age of 30 slows it down a little bit. Normally, Posey gets somewhere between, I don't know, 500, around 500 at-bats, give or take. 500, 510, 520, could be a little less, could be more, but I would think 520 to 530 seems appropriate. But you know what? Not if they're out of it by like 47 games. Maybe it's a chance to see other guys play. Maybe you're like, yeah, Buster, take a day off. Buster, you relax. Well, don't worry about your knees here. We'll come back next year. I bring this up for the following reason. I'm going to do something here which may or may not be fair, but I'm going to raise it a little bit, and here's what I mean. I'm going to double Posey's stats and give you a little bump. So if he has 30 home runs now, 30 runs scored now. 30 home runs would be a lot, right? Aaron Judge. If he has 30 runs scored now, maybe he gets 65, right? So I'm going to write that down. So 35 more runs scored. He's got 9 home runs. I'll give him another 10. No problem. He's got 25 RBIs. I'll give him another 30. He's got 1 stolen base. I'll give him another 2 because I'm generous. And I'll just say that he'll continue to hit over 300. Okay? Fair enough? I don't know if he's going to hit 338, but he's certainly going to hit over 300. So, I asked this question. He wants to trade Buster Posey. And he wants a lot for Buster Posey. Wouldn't you? He writes Buster Posey may decide this league. But let's really come down to it for a second. 10 home runs, 30 RBIs, 35 runs scored, 2 stolen bases, and hitting 300. So, just for purposes of this argument, I'm going to go to, I don't know, is it Manny Pina? Is Manny Pina for a good idea? Let me go to Manny Pina for a second. Let me see what he's doing. Manny Pina from the Brewers. Okay? So Manny Pina right now is hitting 293. That's pretty good, right, for a catcher. Manny Pina has 4 home runs and 20 RBIs now. His 23 runs scored and no stolen bases. So let me ask you this question. Do I get the same RBI, the same batting average from Pina than Posey? No, but it doesn't kill me. I'm getting the same number of stolen bases, very few. How about runs scored? Maybe Pina's on a pretty decent team that's playing well. He could get close to 25 runs scored. So what am I losing? 5 or so RBI, 5 or so home runs, and maybe 20 RBIs? And you know what I'd have to give up for Manny Pina? Peanuts. Peanuts. Do you understand? Maybe I didn't explain that correctly. So let me say this. Manny Pina right now has 150 at-bats with 4 home runs and 20 RBIs, 23 runs scored and no stolen bases. So I will give him 1 stolen base in the second half. I will say that he hits 270. He has 4 home runs. I will give him 6 more on the season. He's got 20 RBIs. I will give him 20 more on the season. And he's got 23 runs scored, and I will say that he has 27 more on the season for a big 50. So what is the difference between him and Posey? 8 runs scored, 4 home runs, 10 RBIs, a stolen base, and 30 points in batting average. That's what I'm losing. Or that's what I'm gaining, if you will, with Posey. So what is my point? My point here is that Posey is going to cost me all my protects. Well, I need Adam Duvall, and I need Brian Dozier, and I need Franklin Barreto, and I need AJ Pollock, and look, my friend who's out of it is going to want a lot for Buster Posey. He's going to want 1 or 2 really good players for Buster Posey. But is Buster Posey at this point of the year worth that to me? So let me go to the standings. Let me see where we are here for a second. So batting average, I can gain 2 points. Well, Posey can help me there. Home runs, are the 5 or so home runs he's going to help me? Maybe. How about the runs scored? I'm already close to the top in runs scored. How about the RBIs? I could use some RBIs. I'm getting a few more with him. Might be worth it for a couple of points. So is Posey better than Manny Pina? Absolutely. I'm not even telling you for a second that he isn't. Of course he's better. But is he significantly better for me to give up really talented players? So I offered my friend David Dahl and Jacoby Ellsbury. No, I wouldn't do that. Really? David Dahl is going to be a really good player. I offered him AJ Pollock. I said, I want Posey and Upton, and I'll give you AJ Pollock and somebody else because Upton's expensive. No, I wouldn't do that either. Well, what do you think I'm going to give you for Buster Posey? Is Buster Posey really going to make the difference in this league? No. It's going to make a difference to his team, and he wants to get as much for that player as possible. And I don't blame him 1 second. That's what he should do. But what I want you to learn how to do is I want you to go to the standings. Well, I want you to do a couple things. First of all, go to the standings, which I always do. And I'll do this right here with you. Okay, maybe it'll be boring, but I'll show you what goes through my brain when I do this. So I'm at 270 in batting average, which is in the 5th place. 2703. 2708 is 1 point. So I say to myself in batting average, which I can write here, you heard the pen click, right? You always love the Dr. Roto pen click because you know good things are happening. I can get 1 point easily. The next point after that is 272. So I'm always conservative with what I think I can get. 1 point. Home runs. I'm at 138. 145 is 3 points. So I can gain 3. Okay, fair enough. Runs scored, I'm at 489. 499 is 1 point. After that, there's no way I can do it, so +1. RBIs, I'm at 465. 469 is 2 spots. So I'll say RBIs +2. Right? Stolen bases, I'm at 70. 74 is in front of me. Maybe I could get +1. I'll probably get that when Pollock comes back. So I've looked at my offense right now, and I've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 possible points. 8 possible points. Pitching. My ERA is 4.073. 3.838 is 2 points, so maybe ERA is 2, right? +2. Strikeouts per 9 innings, I'm really failing behind there. I'm at 8.12. 8.39 is like 2 points. I'm going to say 0 right now. I'm going to say Kip is 0. Not good. I never like the zeros. You always like to gain. Saves, I'm at 44. 48 is 2 spots ahead of me, +2. Wins, I'm at 46. 56 is in front of me. Not happening. I'm at 0. And finally, whip, I'm at 1.2579. 1.2559 is in front of me. I can get +2 in whip easily. +2. So I've got 6 points in front of me in pitching. So look at what I did. I looked at the stats and I said, this is what I could get. Next, when you're thinking about making a trade, okay? So for example, Posey, do what I did. Project out what you expect to get from the player in the second half, and then project to figure out what you're giving up. So why did I choose Manny Pina before? I'll tell you why. I've got Austin Hedges and Manny Pina. So if I were to get Buster Posey, I would be putting Posey stats in my lineup and taking Pina's stats out of my lineup. Because I really don't want to move Austin Hedges, because this dude's got 11 home runs. And right now, power is key. Power is big, because I know I can gain 3 points in power. Right? So I project out what I think Posey's going to do like I did before, and I project out what Pina's going to do as I did before, and I look at the difference. And then I ask myself, what do you think? Is it worth it? Well, am I going to give up Brian Dozier for that meager difference in stats? Am I going to give up Max Kepler? Who am I going to give up? And I'm looking at it and saying, I'll give up something for Posey, but I'm not giving you a star for Posey. It doesn't work for my team because Pina is not disgusting. There are a lot of teams out there with disgusting catchers. And I can name you some, and we know some, right? We know some. If I had Robinson Chirinos, hello, I'd trade for Posey. If I had Sandy Leon, I'd trade for Posey, for sure. Right? If I had Jason Castro, I'd trade for Posey, for sure. Right? But on my team, it doesn't make the most sense. Because Posey's great, but Pina's not killing me. So my friend is going to want a lot for Posey. I'm probably not the team who can pay it. I'm probably not the team who can pay it. What I also want people to do is go down their rosters and look at the players they currently have in and start projecting what they have for their second half. So, for example, I have Paul Goldschmidt Roto on this team. He's got 17 home runs. I project another 20. He's got 60 RBIs. I project another 50. Right? He's got 13 stolen bases. I project another 10. Go through that. See what you're going to get the rest of the way. That way you'll know your numbers. You'll know what you have. You'll know what you need. Ask yourself which of your players are underperforming and which are performing better than you expected. So, for example, Odubel Herrera. He's hitting .256 with 5 home runs and 5 stolen bases. I think he's going to have a much better second half. But Trey Mancini's hitting .314 with 12 home runs. He may regress. I have Scotty Schebler, who's got 20 home runs. He's not hitting 40 on the year. So I've got to figure out which of my guys are killing it and which of my guys are not. Who's going to keep it up and who won't. That's how I know what I want to do with my roster. That's how I know how important somebody is to my team. Do I need Buster Posey? Sure. Do I like Buster Posey? Absolutely. Am I going to overpay for Buster Posey? No chance. I don't need to. I don't need to yet. All I have to hope for, what do I need to hope for? Is that the guy who gets Posey can't catch me, right? I'm in second place overall. Got one guy in front of me by 7 points. I've got one guy behind me by 5. And after that, it's a big drop. So I've got to hope the team in third doesn't get Posey, and I've got to hope the team in first doesn't get Posey. If that happens, hey, then I'm doing really well. I need somebody who's 20 points out who overpays for Posey. That's what I need to happen. Aren't I just dying to say pocket full of Posey somewhere in this podcast? But I didn't do it, did I? Good alliteration. All right. But what I want you to do right now is I want you to go to scoutfantasy.com, enter the promo code Roto. If you haven't already, I assume you have if you listen to this podcast. But if you haven't already for some reason, pay for 1 month, get 2 more for free. And what I really want you to do is I want you to join me in playing as many games as you can for the Fantasy Football World Championship. Go to playffwc.com. Check out our draft lobby. Be part of the best contest going anywhere. The best prize pool with the best payouts. The customer service, second to none. The draft room experience, second to none. The different types of games, it's there for you. And what I really like, and I don't talk about this enough, and I should, we have that second flex player. So let me tell you something. I'm just going to say this. Some leagues give you an 11-game week. I don't want to mention them, but one of our competitors gives you an 11-game season. Not interested. One of our competitors does third-round reversal and 6 points for a quarterback touchdown. Not interested. We, 4 points for a quarterback touchdown, and the second flex player means you have to have a deeper roster. What do I love about that? It means the best players usually win. That's why we're the best players play. You can't get lucky in our leagues. Luck doesn't do it. You've got to be the best team. 90% of the time in a Scout Fantasy League, the best team wins. And that's all you could ever ask for. All you could ever ask for. But right now it's time to put away the insurance cards, put away the copay. The office is closed, my friends. I am back tomorrow, mock draft world championship team. We will see where I am with my player evaluation. Who's up, who's down, who's in, who's out. I don't know. We'll find out then. But I'm wishing you a great day. Be well and take care.
Thanks for listening to the Scout Fantasy Show. There's never been a better time to join the Scout Army. Visit scoutfantasy.com. Use the promo ROTO for 2 months free. And don't forget, fantasy players, please thumbs up the podcast on the iHeart app. See you next time. Go Scouts!